Alright, let's create a new project in Android Studio and implement an image slideshow using ViewPager. To start, launch Android Studio. Create a new project by clicking Start a new Android Studio project. In the application name section, I name my project, for example, Image Slideshow. I click Next. I set the minimum SDK to API 15 or Android 4 and Next. I select Empty Activity and Next, and Finish. I wait until Android Studio creates my project. Gradle operations finished successfully, and our project was created. Before creating an image slideshow, I'm going to add a toolbar to my project. This means that I'm going to use a customized toolbar. So I go to the resource section, and inside the values folder, I open styles.xml. I set the parent of my style to theme.appcompat.light.noActionBar, so that the default Android Studio toolbar is removed from my project. I close styles.xml, I go to the layout folder, and I open the activity main layout. I go to the text section, and inside my root element, I'm going to define a toolbar. As you see, my root element is a constraint layout. I remove it and I use a relative layout instead. And I close my root element. In the preview pane, I set the height and width of my relative layout to match parent. Now I add a toolbar to my layout. I type android.support.v7.widget.toolbar. My toolbar requires a width and a height. I set its width to match parent and its height to the attribute action bar size. I give an ID to my toolbar @+ID / toolbar_ID. I also add a background attribute to my toolbar, and I set its value to the attribute color primary. I also define a theme for my toolbar. I type app: I import app to my layout by pressing Alt and Return. For its value, I type @style / theme overlay.appcompat.dark.actionbar. And finally, I close my toolbar with /. For now, I'm done with the activity main layout. I close it and I open the main activity class. Inside main activity, I define an object from the toolbar class, and I name it toolbar. Inside the onCreate method, I get the reference for this object, I cast the right side to toolbar, find view by ID, r.id, .toolbar_id. I also use the method setSupportActionBar, and inside the parentheses, I pass it the toolbar object. Now let's check out our project on the emulator. Alright, our application was successfully run on the emulator. As you can see, so far we have added a customized toolbar to our application. I stop my emulator and I close the main activity class. I want to change the color of my toolbar, so I go to colors.xml and I remove the color codes for color primary and color primary dark. I go to material colors and I select, for example, red. I use the color code for 500 for color primary and the color code for 700 for color primary dark. I close colors.xml and I return to the activity main layout. As you can see, the colors of both the toolbar and the status bar have changed. After the toolbar, I type android.support.v4.view.viewPager. My view pager requires a width and a height. I set its width to match parent and its height to, for example, 220 dp. Usually for image slideshows, the height is taken between 180 and 230 dps. Here I enter 220 as the height of my view pager. I give an ID to my view pager, @+ID /viewpager_ID. So far, we defined a width and a height for our view pager. We set its height to 220 dps, and also we gave it an ID. Here you see that our view pager is displayed over the toolbar. We are going to make sure that it goes below the toolbar. So after ID I type Android:layout_below. For its value I enter the ID for my toolbar, @ID /toolbar_ID. And finally I close my view pager with /. As you can see, now our view pager is displayed below the toolbar. Alright, that's enough for this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to create a separate layout for our image slideshow, and inside the new layout, we are going to add an image view, and we will further complete our image slideshow.